Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well today. This is a new pick a card reading, and as always, I ask to bring forward the most useful information. For this reading, we have 4 piles to choose between. Pile 1 is a shell, pile 2 is tiger's eye, pile 3 is lapis lazuli, and pile 4 is rose. I wanted to shake things up and draw a card for each pile, so I'm going to do that now. Okay. So pile 1 is going to be journey. Okay. The additional little message for pile 1 is journey. Okay. Pile 2, the tiger's eye. Your message is fun. Fun with a big period. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay, pile 3, the lapis. Okay, let's do this. Let's do go, and then we'll keep that extra message, kind of secret until your reading. And now, the final pile 4. Let's use this purple deck for rose. Okay. For pile 4, your little extra message is, ooh, okay, it's an eye. I don't know if you guys can see that. I use this as like my psychic eye or like a third eye signifier. Okay, so if this is not your first rodeo, I will see you at your chosen pile. If you are new here, a special hello to you. I'm Zach, and I use a natural psychic ability to read the tarot and to create your oracles. So before you make your selection, try to ground your energy and really tune into the present moment. That gives us the best chance of meeting up somewhere in time and space, so that this reading means that much more to you. Once you've made your selection, all you have to do is scroll down to the timestamps there in the description box or the comment box below. Find that corresponding timestamp, and I will meet you at your reading. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. Everyone who chose journey or the shell. So right before I started your meeting, I heard it was from Jumanji. It was the guy, and he was like Judy or like something like that. I don't know why, but that's it. Okay, so when I think of Jumanji and journey, I think of something grand. Okay, so perhaps pile 1 is embarking on something new, and it's really causing them to come out of their shell. Okay, I think you guys are like trying on a new sense of self or something along these lines. Okay, that's just what I'm getting right off the bat with these cards. So I'm going to just pull your message up here and then take on a couple different lenses for your reading. First, I want to start with animal medicine. Okay, first card to come out is fox. Interesting. This looks like a fennec fox, okay, so from the desert. So usually with fox, I get stealth, but not necessarily in this deck. And, the fennec fox vibe, that kind of desert fox, is somewhere somewhere I've never been, okay? So yeah, it's talking about a journey to me, okay? Now let's go and open this up further with a spiritual lens. Okay. So for pile 1, can we get a little bit more information for pile 1? Yes, there's totally a message that wants to come out as soon as I can get this deck to cooperate. Okay, so for pile 1, Irahim, where are you being called to journey to? Oh, I just got so many spiritual shivers. Okay. Did you see that, pile? Pile 1, where are you being called to journey to? That's amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle some tarot And we'll see what your first message seems to be. Yeah, I'm getting like, when I saw come out of your shell, it was like not fish out of water, but it was, you know, small fish in a big sea. So perhaps you guys are, you know, going to college, you're starting a new job, you're traveling overseas for some of you. Some of you want to go on a retreat of sorts. Some of you want to go on a spiritual retreat, okay? That's what I'm picking up on first, okay? I really love this energy going on right now, okay? I'm being really pulled like down, even away from the tarot. I really am drawn to this like tropical looking waters, the shell. It's a very sort of like throat chakra moment, okay? So perhaps you guys are going somewhere to learn how to talk or sing or communicate better, something along these lines, okay? And I'm just getting a very pretty, nourishing sort of like for the soul vibe going on right now, okay? So let's see for pile 1. Judgment, indeed. Okay. Okay. So first with Judgment, you know, the most important aspect of this card is the crossroads, in my opinion. Okay, for Judgment to come out, you're being divinely guided right now, or your spirit team is really close with you right now, and they're working to sort of bring you through some sort of energy in your life. Okay, perhaps giving you the courage to make this journey is what I'm seeing. I also just, you know, that really celestial vibe I was getting, really nourishing to the soul vibe, it makes sense to me that this angel is out right now, okay? Okay, yeah, we have another winged figure here, this Felicious Bond, this lion, okay? So perhaps you are going, you know, I was getting going abroad for work matters or for a creative project. Perhaps some of my pile 1s are, I think you're going abroad to like share some creative work. By abroad, it doesn't necessarily mean overseas, but there's some sort of creative project that you're going to share or you need to share about or open up about, okay? And it's like, I think perhaps there's an element of collaborative experience going on. So working with someone, okay? Now, this Judgment card, to me, it feels like learning that nothing should shape our experience of life except the lenses that we ourselves decide to put on. Okay, so what I mean to say is your parents' interpretation of the world should no longer color your lenses, okay? Is what the energy I'm getting. So up to a certain point in your lives with your parents, sure, they have a lot to say and a lot to teach you, but there's a certain turning point that that's that crossroads, where you need to not hold on to their ideals any longer, okay? And you start to sort of feel this bond with yourself and your soul, okay? Perhaps we're talking about, you know, getting a connection to your higher self, okay? Because some of you are being called to journey somewhere spiritually, okay? Taking a spiritual retreat of sorts. Some of you are even like going to, not overseas, but seeking out a shaman or some other figure who can help you work with sacred plant medicine, okay? But this idea of, you know, leaving home, right, for the first time is what I'm getting. Making it out on your own, spreading your wings is what I'm getting, okay? And making sure that we're not carrying with us any baggage from the past, okay? And this baggage, you know, it's not necessarily physical, it's totally mental in my opinion, and emotional. So making sure that, you know, any ideals that your parents have, are those authentic to you, okay? The angels show up to remind us about authenticity, okay? About our unique individual spark as a unique soul, okay? And I think that you're learning about this at least right now in your life, okay? Where are you being called to, pile 1, is where I also want to draw attention to. And I'm going to actually, before I pull some more tarot, I'm going to go for this orange deck, okay? To me, this talks about the sacral chakra. I'm really being drawn to this lion and the cross right there, okay? It's like, where are you being called passionately to, right? Where are you seduced? right? The sacral chakra is all about working with seduction and the power of seduction to bring manifestations to you, but also to feel beautiful, okay, and worthy of that. Some of you might work with the goddess Bastet, okay? Bast. So how about a little bit more information for pile 1? Oh, weird. Okay, so beauty did come out. Then these two, blue and happy. Okay, interesting. Happy is in reverse. Okay, not necessarily like that there are reversals with these types of cards, but it's something to note, okay? Beauty, that comment of beauty is really important, okay? And it has to do with feeling like a magnetic attraction, okay? And that's what we're getting here with this Two of Cups moment. I don't really see this as a relationship outside of yourself. I see this as you coming to terms with who you are and your unique abilities, and perhaps what you even came to do on this planet during this incarnation. Okay, beauty to me does indicate a need to get to know the sacral chakra a little bit more, okay? To identify with the orange ray, okay? And that sacral chakra is, you know, everything to do with sexual energy and seduction and beauty, okay? Perhaps you feel like you're not a match for where you currently live, and you feel like a fish out of water because you are not being nourished by your environment at this time, okay? So this could be a call to really change location and to not really be afraid of a move like that, okay? I do see this home in the distance and this crossroads I keep getting drawn to. Perhaps at this time in your life, pile 1, you really are being called to spread your wings and to branch out and to go into a new direction in your life, okay? For blue and happy, it's like leaving blue, okay? Leaving a blue period, or perhaps you're not around water and something your soul requires and desires is water, okay? Something to do with this water and this shell was really calling me early on in your reading, and it's like this nurturing level, like you need to hear like the laps of a lake or water against a shore. That kind of energy would be super healing for you guys, okay? Because I see these angels as healers as well. I also see this happy, you know, being a result of reaching out for this blue, okay? I think the biggest message we're getting right off the bat is, where are you being called to journey to, right? It's very, very synchronistic, and that also makes me super excited for you, pile 1. I love to see that level of synchronicity. So this does seem to be about what is in alignment with your desires, okay? What do you desire at this time in your life, pile 1? Where do you want to go? What do you want to experience? Maybe even what do you want to look like? What would make you feel more seductive, okay? There are parts of you I feel like that you should embrace at this time because they're going to make you feel more powerful and more sexy, okay? And I feel like in our society, at least the one that I live in here in the United States, it's almost like shameful to express your sexuality and sensuality, okay? It's not, though. For a very long time, sexual energy was utilized in order to make creation, okay? To make creativity, to be able to utilize your creative powers as a little mini god here on Earth, because I do believe we're all individual sparks of consciousness. Utilizing that sexual energy is super important, okay? It's important not to ignore that, but also we are sexual beings. We are nothing but, you know, highly evolved monkeys, okay? But also, what I meant to say by that is just like any other animal, we have to procreate in order to be able to incarnate, right? If there were no more humans, we wouldn't be able to incarnate on Earth and make this living experience and experience Earth down here. What I mean to say is our sexual energy is not something to be ignored, okay? I think we're calling a lot of attention to that. So let's go ahead and see if we can get one more message for you guys. You know, we can hold on to that thought, no biggie, but I want to go for this relationship deck just because I feel like I'm very curious to see where my pile 1 is at. Okay. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Okay, interesting. So it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with love, but I feel like you really want to go somewhere and it's requiring you to take a leap of faith. And I am here to tell you that it actually can work out. I'm also being like, I'm having a lot of spiritual shivers is what they're called. So I think this message is super important for you, okay, Pile 1? So let me just be real with you. There was a time in my life where I was highly successful. I was at a master's program, okay? But then I actually applied to my dream master's program while I was still there and got into that school. At the very same time, I was given I was offered jobs in New York City at various magazines to work at. I was a professional photographer at that time. What I'm saying was, in order to leave that program that I was already in to pursue the school of my dreams, it took a massive leap of faith to be able to pull that plug, to be able to eat all that financial burden, something I'm still dealing with, and to just listen to myself and say, because I was not happy at that school. I was not happy with that program. None of the teachers did it for me, okay? I was, not a good match for my environment as well. I did not feel like I belonged in Savannah, Georgia, okay? And I listened to that niggling and went ahead to Cal Arts, made that, risk to go to that audition. And guess what? They admitted me. Okay, and that's just one example of a leap of faith. Here's another one. I was at a job a few years after that at an animal hospital. I hated my life at that animal hospital. I was working 12 hours a day, and I would be on autopilot throughout that entire time period at work just to get off and to be happy, I was like deluding myself and becoming delusional just to get through those 12 hours so that I wouldn't have to experience it. That is really, really toxic for the soul and for the psyche, okay? For our body and mind, psychologically in a very real way. So I think that you guys are being called to go somewhere, okay? Somewhere in your life that you genuinely feel, but there is this element of trust, okay? But I brought up the animal hospital to say that I walked out of a shift once, never looked back, after I finally listened to myself, okay? That very day, I was called by a photographer and asked to do a photo shoot in Chicago with him. I got back from that photo shoot that very weekend. I was hired to shoot a wedding, okay, and then so on. But if you do not trust the universe to take that leap, you cannot be supported, right? You have to, create a vacuum in order for it to be filled, is what I want to tell you, okay? So that is, the message I'm getting from romance. I'll just leave your trust card right there. I'm almost getting that the fox is talking. It definitely indicated this journey was the strong message here, but I'm also getting it's like the fox in the hen house kind of idea. And it's almost like a thought, right? Very early in your reading, it was really important to leave old ideas behind, especially ideas that you don't identify with, but are being perpetuated by people in society, your parents, your employer, anything like that. It's super important to be able to feel authentically in our body whether or not something resonates with us, okay? Whether or not we are a match for our environment, whether or not we are in the right field, okay? Whether or not we need to leave, okay? This fox is telling me it's like the fox in the hen house. It's like this idea is getting in your mind and it's causing you to second guess yourself, and I don't see that as being necessary, okay? You definitely are being supported, especially with this trust card to come out. It really is about that, okay? I was going to draw another tarot card for you guys, but I do think that this message came through, and I'm happy with this reading, okay? So I hope that you guys did like this reading. I hope that you found it useful. If you haven't already, you can consider subscribing. If you've made it this far in the video, you can drop me a big thumbs up. It helps other people find these messages. It helps my channel grow. And I hope that wherever you are in the world, whatever you do, you have a good night, day, and until next time, stay divine. Hello, Pile 2, editing Zac here. I have to apologize. There's something very weird that happened with the audio for your reading. So there is still audio. It is just lower quality. And I have to also apologize for the bouncing camera at several points in your reading. I didn't want to refilm for obvious reasons. I think the messages came out. It's just a small little visual inconvenience. I will also say I think it is rather serendipitous that the bouncing does occur because you will very soon see the theme of your reading really revolves around uplifting your energy. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So you guys chose this tiger's eye with fun, okay? And an emphasis on fun, right? We have a big bold print here going on, and it's saying like fun period, so like fun at all costs, which makes me feel like you guys have perhaps been working a lot lately, and I think that there could be an imbalance going on, but also fun is the energy of it's just lighter, right? It just has a little bit of a different flavor, and it feels like perhaps you guys are stuck maybe in whatever avenue of your life. You know, you could be stuck psychically, you guys could be stuck in a business, stuck in a decision, and it feels like this is actually talking about the energy of fun, which is like yellow and like electric and lighthearted and perhaps like unattached to outcomes and not needing to be so structured and not needing to do things by the book. Also, we're like commenting on bring up the energy, okay? Tiger's Eye is a stone of protection for me. So we're just gonna leave these guys right there and open up your reading with tarot. I just made this bag yesterday. Isn't it beautiful? I'm a little proud of it. I had to show it off. The other bag just felt a little old. Okay, so let's start off. Oh, I went right for the tarot. I didn't even reach for animal medicine or a spiritual lens, so there must be some message that wants to come out with the tarot first. Okay. So for pile 2, what does pile 2 need to know? What messages do we have for pile 2? What's pile 2 going through? Okay, there is a card in there, but this one came out first. Okay, so 3 of Swords in reverse. You know, this to me talks, okay, that can make sense. I think we're talking about bringing your energy up, pile 2. Perhaps you guys have experienced some heartbreak, you know, but I think it's past. I also feel like you guys are learning that you can't think your way out of emotions and feelings, right? Try as you will to sort of escape feeling something, unless you process it and acknowledge it and digest it, it's never going to leave you, okay? It's kind of like that energy. And a 2 of Wands. Okay, so lots of gray energy, lots of unknown at this time. I'm being pulled to this fun card. Okay, things look bleak-ish, okay? But we do have the 2 of Wands, so I do see some passion reigniting, and I think it's a passion for yourself. I think pile 2 is stepping up to put themselves first in the world. I think you guys would like to see yourselves on center stage, and you're sort of in a period of your life right now where you're trying to figure out what you want the future to look like, okay? You're rekindling passions, desires, you're looking into the future and seeing what you wish for. I think you guys are learning about what is going to make you happy in the long run. Perhaps has to do with relationships, but interestingly, we don't really have any cup cards, at least not yet. I feel like this message, you know, 3 and 2 is 5, is a turning point for pile 2. I see you guys moving forward, moving out of this grayness, or some of you guys simply need to sit in this energy and digest it, like I said earlier, with a 3 of Swords. If we try to ignore this energy, it's not going to get us anywhere. I feel like this is a place of creation, right? And then additional message real quick is you can't think your way out of this one, okay? It's definitely some sort of gray energy. Something is unknown, okay? However, I see the bulk of this having transpired, right? The bulk of this despair, the bulk of not knowing what's going on, not, you know, feeling some type of way, not really knowing what you want the future to look like. I think perhaps maybe we've been sitting in this energy too much, and it's time to shift out of that, okay? We need to have a little more fun. So that seems to be the first message. Okay. Oh, what are you? Temperance. Okay. A moment of healing for sure for my pile twos. Okay. A chance to balance their emotions and feelings. Okay. A chance to get grounded as well. But I think this is, pivotal. I think because we have this major arcana, this gorgeous angel coming out, not only are you surrounded by your spiritual team at this time who are trying to send you messages, perhaps regarding love and relationships and feelings, also your future. I think this time you are supported by your team right now. They're saying, loosen up a bit. Let's shift our focus and perspective so that we can allow for this healing to happen, okay? Interesting. For some of us, we're focusing so hard on what we desire that we're becoming confused because we're entertaining all of these passions and inspirations but not taking action on them. As a result, we're confusing ourselves and we're muddying the water, right? Okay? It feels like things are confusing at this time. And we're trying to create a clear channel of connection. Okay, so this tiger's eye, it's also, it has to do with spirituality and psychic work. And early on, I was saying that perhaps some of us are looking for clarity psychically, or I had something along those lines. I do feel like someone in here is learning about spirituality and psychic abilities, and I think that we're trying to clear something up, okay? I think that messages are coming through, but your screen right now is a little muddy because we're entertaining all these ideas and thoughts, but not taking any action on them. I think we're not fully digesting them, okay? Hope this is making sense for you guys. Let's pull these cards, just down here for a moment. I want to reach for an animal medicine card. Okay, so this is going to be for pile 2. What animal medicine is pile 2 currently working with? What could they benefit from? What messages do we have for pile 2? Okay. Fox. Interesting. So this came out for pile 1. I'm going to pull it off to the side and acknowledge it, but I do think that there is a separate message for pile 2 here. To me, the Fox card is talking about this 3 of Swords moment. I'm getting like fox in the hen house, and it's like one apple is spoiling the bushel. It's like one idea is, coming from outside of you, spoiling the bushel, okay? One bad relationship, one bad experience with love and romance is perhaps tainting you. I'm getting like gray, as in like it used to be a white t-shirt, but now it's faded gray through time, through wear and tear, but also through exposure to something that was perhaps not positive, okay? But again, let's see where this message is. Okay. You have prairie dog. Okay. So prairie dog is truly about kind of like the hermit card. Interesting that fun is this, okay? But I do think that the fun card truly is talking about the state of energy. We really need to uplift somehow. I think that choosing foods that target the solar plexus is going to be super powerful for you guys, like oats, okay? You could consider oats, lemons, really bright things. Prairie dog is about knowing when it's time to take a pause, to ground yourself, to burrow into your den until it's time and safe to come out again, okay? Yeah, it's a nurturing home kind of energy. So let's open this reading further with a spiritual lens, and then we'll reach for more messages with the tarot. Okay, so for pile 2, please. What could pile 2 benefit from hearing spiritually? Where is pile 2 spiritually? Where are they going? What messages do we have for pile 1 in the way of spirituality? Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Interesting. So we have 3 figures here, each floating at different heights up, okay? Towards the moon, interestingly. Okay, pile 2. There is some message with this releasing soul patterns and contracts and past lives. Something to do about karma that's been accumulated, okay? Perhaps you guys struggle with going out on your own and making the initiative. You guys really like to be told what to do, where to be, and how to do it, and you thrive in that. But perhaps in this lifestyle, we're really causing you, to step on center stage. That's what I said earlier in our reading. To look at life with a little bit more, fun. To look at this as if it's a human experience for your soul to experience, okay, and to learn about. I'm getting this as like, perhaps taking life a little too seriously, and I think that maybe that's actually a karmic block that you're supposed to come over at some point so that you can raise to new levels. Okay, I'm just getting the idea that perhaps we've been stuck in cycles of relationship karma. It's time to move out of that, and by doing that, my advice is always to put yourself first, okay, and to, interestingly, I reached for the wrong deck. So before we pull a relationship card for you guys, sorry for the extra lavender that keeps flying out. We're gonna pull some of these cards to get some background information on this relationship and love. But what I was saying was, it feels like perhaps if this is relationship karma, the very best advice is to do some self-healing and to put yourself first. I think that perhaps if you guys are desiring to know where you want to go in the world next, and how to do that, and how to be your own person, and how to step on center stage and live your own life, I think perhaps you guys could look into your solar plexus, even your sacral chakra, okay? To learn about energy centers and to learn especially about self-confidence, okay? Okay, I'm going to reach for another message, okay? I'll take you, and I'll take you, and I'll take you. If you don't think that there's something that you're talented at doing, think again, pile 2, okay? This energy, it does feel like you're really stuck in your head, or you're really in a place of confusion, okay? Now, we don't come here without abilities, okay? For that, you can rest assured, okay? You are absolutely here to play some part, and they're all pivotal roles, okay? Something I think you're supposed to be learning first, though, is how to release yourself from being under someone's foot, okay? But it's also like being under the guidance of someone. I think you're really learning how to find your voice, okay? So, you must be willing to be the fool, okay? Ebb and flow, and then ecstasy. Okay, I'm getting fun and, okay. So, this is very true. I'm also getting some spiritual shivers. Ecstasy tells me that we're learning about how to find that in this lifetime. I think perhaps pile 2 really loves to work, really loves to be useful, really loves to feel like they're doing something really good in the world, but we're missing some aspect, and that's self-love. I think we need to acknowledge our child self who lives inside us somewhere in there, to acknowledge what other aspects are fun, what makes you feel lit up, what can you do where you totally lose your mind and track of time and drop all of your anxieties and worries for the future. Okay, ecstasy, we really are drawing a lot of attention to raising our vibration. You must be willing to be the fool in order to become the master. Talks to me about this need to develop self-confidence, to take this leap of faith wherever you seem to be wanting to go. Okay, pile 2? You must be willing to be the fool. You must be willing to make mistakes and to learn about humility and to humble yourself. Ebb and flow talks about energy and working with, when you're in an ebb, so pulling away. That feels like that's where you guys are now. When you're in an ebb, and energy seems blocked, we just need to make a conscious effort to unblock it. I think that perhaps you guys are looking at achieving life through a certain lens, and as a result, you're blocking different forms of energy from coming in. And it's like, if there were 5 tunnels right here and you had 5 ways for energy to come in, you'd be able to receive a lot of inspiration and energy. But if you just had this one channel and these 4 were closed, and perhaps even this one was becoming blocked, you have one way for energy to come in. I feel like it's gonna, there's gonna be a kink in the hose or something, and it blocks energy from coming forward and, freeing you. Ebb and flow. We're learning about when we feel like we should take breaks, when we really need to let loose a little bit. I really feel like pile 2 could benefit from letting loose, okay? Yes, let's reach for the tarot one more time and pull a final message for you guys there. Okay, so pile 2, please. What's another message we have for pile 2? What would be some good advice for pile 2, perhaps? What do we want to talk to pile 2 about? Okay. Before we open that guy, I was drawn to these chords, okay, and how they look loose, but then I was drawn to these figures, okay? They appear to be women, but gender doesn't matter. They're free. They're very, like, sensual and seductive. It's like dance would be very good for you guys. You guys could consider dancing, you know, taking a Zumba class, you know, just shifting your energy. It feels clogged at this time, and it's a lot easier to shift that than you think. But it's that getting off the couch moment that is the hardest, you know? I'm not saying, you know, go sign up for a gym membership. I'm just saying, like, if you literally just, like, let yourself be freaky a little bit and goofy and, like, just, like, press pause on the TV or whatever and just, like, stand up and, like, shake it out. Like, just be really funny and, like, move your body in really queer positions and just, like, literally, like, wriggle and do something. Stand somewhere in your house that you've never stood before and look around and see what it looks like. Like, go in the kitchen, stand on the counter, and, like, look at life from up there. I feel like these are really practical ways to help shift your energy, okay? But your card, the last card message that came up was this 10 of Cups, okay? Which talks about the home and talks about good times. And it feels like the best thing you could do is to really, you know, balance yourself at this time to hold up, right? We're calling attention to this prairie dog card, and it's like find comfort in being still at home in this time and recuperating and sense that ebb and flow, right? Sense when you have enough energy to move out into the world, sense when you have enough energy to go into different relationships and potentially think of a new relationship. Sorry, not think of a relationship, when you feel ready to consider what qualities you're looking for in a partner, okay? I think that's important. Is there anything else? You know, this 10 of Cups in the family, it really is talking to me about past lives, okay? And releasing family karma, especially, okay? But to me, it also talks about, you know, a bright future, the rainbow, okay? It's like a wish that's been granted or heard at the very least. You guys had an angel show up in your reading, and you guys have the rainbow as well. Those are really, really positive, fun energies, okay? But also hopeful energies, meaning that this energy will pass, okay? This energy, this state of being, wherever pile 2 is right now, is going to ebb and flow, and you are going to become unstuck. This is the end of a cycle, okay? 10s are the end of cycles. We're talking about releasing patterns, releasing past lives and contracts, breaking out, emerging, right? Pile 2 is really meant to experience something really uplifting in this lifetime, okay? So this is the message I'm getting for you, pile 2. I really hope that it resonated with you guys. If you like my style of reading and you want to see more messages like this in the future, you can consider subscribing. If you've made it this far in the video, you can drop me a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel grow, but it also helps other people find these messages. And wherever you are in the world, whatever you do, pile 2, have a good day, night, and until next time, stay divine. Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Everyone who chose this beautiful piece of lapis lazuli, as you can tell, I love lapis, particularly this one I found at Bernie's Rocks in Madison, Wisconsin. Okay, so maybe Wisconsin is interesting to you. Perhaps you guys like to go to rock shops. So this piece, though, it always reminds me of like a lightning bolt for some reason. And to me, lapis lazuli with these beautiful flecks of pyrite talks about creative abundance. So achieving abundance from your creative ideas. It's also it's such a really beautiful stone, okay? So we're going to start your reading. You guys have, remember, this little mystery card that came out along with Go. Go in black and white sort of feels like that. You know, it's a very straightforward message. The time is now. Let's see what your extra message is, though. Find new roads. Beautiful. Wow. These even look similar in typography. So we have, these messages of white against a black background. Okay, so it feels like, these are divine messages, okay? So guidance. You guys could be really connected to your spirit guides at that time. That's why you guys chose perhaps the lapis lazuli. There's being divine guidance somehow at play in your life right now, okay? Go find new roads. Beautiful. I love that it reads like that. But also I see them as being very similar, okay? Find new roads. Be clever about your present situation. It's time to think outside the box, perhaps. This is also the energy of like find a new way to work, because doing so will create new neural pathways in your mind, because you haven't seen any of those. You haven't seen any of that. I don't know why that message is being stopped. Perhaps it's important. Yes, I got a flash on my solar plexus. When you don't, okay, here's the message. We experience the same amount of stimuli most days. So it's super important to bring in new experiences. One really good way to do this is to simply take a different route to work, because you're being stimulated by all sorts of new stimuli which create new neural pathways. Okay, I was getting ahead of myself with that message. Sorry, I very much ruled by air, so I read the sign of the message in my head. And it's honestly, sometimes it's difficult for me to channel and speak at the exact same time because it happens so quickly. I think perhaps you guys are really psychically enhanced as well, or just, interested in, perhaps you guys are just ruled by air heavily, okay? But someone here is really psychically attuned, okay? Or connected in the very least. I definitely feel a presence. So we're going to move these cards off to the side. Again, go find new roads. Let's set them up like this. Okay, now I want to start your reading with an animal medicine card. This gives me a good first lens, and then we'll take on a spiritual lens too before we open up with tarot. So for pile 3, where's pile 3 going? Why does pile 3 need to hear go find new roads? Okay, this is for pile 3. The elk. It's about stamina. Okay, going the distance too. Interesting. So the story with this elk card is that imagine it being chased by wolves, a pack of wolves, okay? And this elk, the one thing it has going for it, it's not a real fighter, though it does have some sharp hooves and antlers. The one thing that it utilizes is that it is like the Energizer bunny. It can go, right? It does not stop for whatever reason, okay? Its strong suit, its adaptive trait is, interestingly, I feel very in tune with you guys, and I'm stumbling all over my words. It's interesting. I think that there are some very connected people who chose pile 3, okay? I'm just being picked up on your energy. I usually don't stumble this much. And if I do, it's because there's no connection, but I feel a very strong connection right now. Elk, the one arsenal it has is the ability to just go and run for miles, and that way it loses the predator because it can outrun them. Okay, it's talking about going the distance. So let's put a spiritual lens on this reading. So pile 3 either needs a lot of energy at this time, or we're giving them a huge green light, a big, bright green light to go forward. Starseed, what lights you up? That makes sense. I feel like a lot of you here resonate with the term starseed, old soul at the very least, okay? That makes sense to me. I was getting it's cool, I haven't had this card pop up yet either. I was getting very pulled by your energy, and it's sort of like pulling me out of the present because I feel like I'm linking up with you, but trying to address too many of you at once. So I need to be a little bit more pared back at this time. Anyways, look at our figure here, on the brink of greatness, on a precipice, okay, poised at the edge of greatness, looking out towards life, looking out towards, an incredible view, right? I feel envious of her. And oftentimes, when I picture life after this incarnation, I want to be something like this. I want to see distant worlds and just be able to touch them without having to fear of, any, human responsibilities, okay? And I think that you guys relate to this. It feels like perhaps you guys have some calling that has to do with spirituality, and it feels like perhaps to go this route, it's going to require a lot of stamina and energy and drive and determination, okay? I think at the very least, we're asking pile 3, are you in alignment where you currently are in your life? Or do you feel a pull to go somewhere else, to find new roads, right? This is very important for pile 3, this starseed. I feel like you guys are a starseed, okay? You're here meant to be either a light worker or an empath. You're here to help shift Earth into, the future. A happy, more harmonious place to live, okay? And for our souls to incarnate and experience the human experience, right? It feels like we're meant to shift energy at this time, shift perspectives, I think, at the very least, okay? I think perhaps you guys relate to feelings of wanting to leave the human body, okay, not in a negative sense, but perhaps you guys are interested in astral projection, or you like to daydream about what it would be like to experience the world and the universe as like a gas, right? To be able to go to really distant worlds, okay? I'm getting like a very dreamy vibe with you guys, okay? But we have to be cautious of dreamers because oftentimes they spend all of their energy in their mind creating scenarios and not enough of that in the present, okay? Interesting. So let's look for your first message with a tarot. Look at this bag. I sewed this over the weekend. I have to brag a little bit. I'm very proud of it. It's beautiful. Okay. Oh, wow. And the deck came upright. You have the Emperor, which is the first card, which literally says, it talks to me about stamina as well, okay? And these rams talk about going the distance. And he's just a very solid, stable figure. I'd actually just tried to come out. Oy vey. Too many cards. Okay, so messages for pile 3, please. That wanted to come out. Knight of Cups, okay? Successful wishing, but a lot of emotional fulfillment at this time. Okay, where are you going indeed? So this Page of Cups to me is the dreamer, and that's interesting because he tried to come out early on. Okay, so you guys are emotionally mature, okay, but the dreamer, again, he is someone who has a lot of energy, especially regarding romance and love, but he doesn't always have a lot of follow through, okay? This 3 of Wands card, to me, it talks about how do you identify with this card, pile 3? Do you see yourself as someone who sent these ships off, to export your goods, okay? Or are you waiting for them to return, okay? Or have you traveled this far and you've reached this new precipice and you're looking out? Look at this. These figures are so similar. They even have very dark hair, okay? At the edge of just looking onto a new world. Okay, this idea of dreaming a new future into being is important, okay? Knight of Cups, it's like make a wish. So I think at this time in your life, you might want to pause the video and quite literally make a wish. But I also feel like you guys just have a depth of emotion, okay? It's interesting. I'm curious about where you guys are going. So I'm going to pull a few more cards. I see you guys for sure as I think a lot of you are empathic, okay? So you relate to people's emotions. You feel things and see things and sense them at a deeper level than most people do. Perhaps you guys have extra sensitivity, extra sensitive processing. Pile 3, please. Okay. Okay, I see an opportunity. Oh, I like to see 2 3s here, a lot of creative energy. I do see a little bit of emotional dissatisfaction, okay? Yes, there's a caution against storming ahead at this time, but it's an invitation to make an action too. I think you're weighing up something during this time, pile 3, though focusing on perhaps relationships that have failed, love that has failed, things that they're not quite up to snuff at this time. It's like we're paying a little bit too much attention to them and we're not seeing this message, In the very beginning, I was getting this whiteness against the black as being a divine message, right? I get that with this 4 of Cups too, okay? We have a cloud right here and this hand emerging from it, right? It represents a divine connection and a divine message. Okay, now I see this Knight of Swords as a need to sort of go, right? He says go forward with a lot of lust for life, okay? He also, is not necessarily the best energy to work with, but it's just a lot of energy, a lot of action and doing and risk taking. We need to sort of take a leap of faith, right? Imagine this figure just jumping off, right? So when I try to daydream, think about other worlds, what it would be like to not be human, because this is not my favorite form. Perhaps it's not your favorite form either, okay? I imagine the ability to experience the world and go all over anywhere I wanted without having to be stuck in a human form, right? So this person could leap off here and not fear death, right? It feels like we want to have that same energy for you at this time, okay? Let's put some clarification on this, right? I'm interested, okay? I see, perhaps needing courage to take on a creative project, okay? At the very least, we need to make this decisive decision to go forward, okay? We're going to go for this yellow deck, though we already pulled from it. That's okay. We'll pull one message from here and get a couple more. Okay, so for pile 3, please. I want you, and you, and you, okay? Bold plan. That's what this knight is saying, okay? With this decision card, it is an absolute bold plan. You sort of need to be decisive at this time in your life, pile 3, to go where something lights you up. We need to check in with ourselves at this time. Are you in alignment? Do you feel like you're living your dream life? If not, this is an inspiration and encouragement to go and find new roads. This is at the very least, finding new reading material, new material to watch online. It's the idea of filling your brain with newness so you can create new neural pathways that perhaps will open you up to something, okay? It feels like you guys are sensing a future or sensing your potential at this time, and it feels like you need to go forward towards it somehow. A dose of sunshine and rain, okay? This talks about nature and getting outside, okay? I think that for those of you who are experiencing a lot of winter right now, as we are in the winter months, I'm in Southern California, you guys could, get outside. It has something to do with going into nature to get grounded at this time, okay? And that's really gonna help you. You guys might feel attracted to nature, but it's winter where you live. You can still bundle up and go outside. In fact, if you've never taken a hike when it's 10 degrees out, you should. Or less than 10 degrees, just make sure you're wearing, proper clothing, but it's exhilarating. The air smells different, right? You can hear the trees moving, and I feel like this is really important for you. I do sense that you guys are empathic. At the very least, you're really sensitive to your environment. This Starseed card, I'm really inspired by you guys, and I'm not just saying that. I have a really cool feeling with you guys. It's like a sizzle underneath the surface. Maybe that's why I was talking about lightning bolt earlier. You guys are divine. There's something about you. I think the majority of the people in this reading are here to do spiritual work. You could be a light worker, a spiritual teacher, you could be a healer, or you could be a psychic, you could be an animal psychic, something along these lines, okay? I think that these ideas, at the very least, are very interesting for pile 3, okay? You definitely are going somewhere. It's curious. So, what kind of messages do we want? Okay. Want to hear is what I was trying to say. Page of Cups, you again. Okay. Interesting. So it's these 5 flames, right, burning within you, and it's like you're scouting your energy going in all these different directions, right? And it's like, which one of those burns the brightest, okay? But Page of Cups with this, it feels like perhaps love is, we're drawing attention to love and conflicts around the heart, okay? But I also feel like it really has to do with expending your creative energy in too many different avenues, okay? And it's like having the confidence to pursue the one that lights you up. Which one of these flames? To light 5 different candles, it's going to take a lot of your energy, right? And, you know, that can produce a lot of brightness in the world, but if you could put all your energy behind one flame, that'd be a bonfire, wouldn't it? Okay, this Page of Cups, it's you guys for sure. So I want to pull some romance cards. We'll pull from 2 decks. Okay. All right, so first from the Romance Angels, pile 3, please. What does pile 3 need to hear at this time? What's going on with pile 3? What about love? What lessons are they learning in love? Perhaps you guys are attached, okay, to a partner, okay? Okay. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. You guys have a spiritual path, okay? Without a doubt. Interesting. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, okay? These are 2 interesting energies, okay? I see marriage as, you know, very religious, though it definitely does not have to be. I identify as gay, so I'm not really interested in that idea. But I do see it as a spiritual union of sorts, okay? Now, with this religious card, I'm picking it up stronger than this engagement. It's really talking about giving you guys the confidence to go and to follow some spiritual path, right? Some of you want to be shamans. Some of you want to look into energy healing. Some of you want to do Reiki. Some of you want to look into crystals and like sound bath therapy. Some of you want to open a spiritual shop. Some of you are just super curious about spirituality, and you might want to look for like a psychic advisor. Okay. My throat closed on that one, so I think that's important. Okay, some of you could be psychic advisors. Finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. Okay, so there should be there could be some karma at this time that you're dealing with, and it has to do with sort of going in a direction that feels genuine and authentic to you. Okay, pile 3, there's something about needing to sort of tune in and ask yourself over and over, I'm getting this, like, you're so inspired and you love entertaining all of these creative ideas, but which one do you resonate with and why? Okay, that's important. It's the why you guys need to figure out at this time, right? What gives you, you know, a sense of awe? What kind of fills you with this new energy, right? I think that you guys, you know, are very sensitive, and you feel a sort of obligation to entertain specific relationships, whether they're platonic, family, or love, okay? I think that you guys have been through some, and, you know, some challenging relationships, right? You've been through this sort of muck to emerge as this, you know, blossom, right? That's the proverb with this lotus flower over here that decorates the Page of Cups. It feels like you guys love to experience love when you come and incarnate on Earth. Though I do think that you can use that energy and to steer it into a better direction, which would be to help more people. Okay, there's this idea of letting your love and empathic ability sort of reach out to other people. Okay, let's just draw a few of these. Okay. There is a message there of ebb and flow, okay? I took, my vocal coach told me one time this concept of relationships. She was my vocal coach, but she was also, I swear to God, a very good therapist, and she was in a long marriage herself. I'm not in a marriage. Maybe some of you guys are. I don't know why I said my. Anyways, before class one day, she was talking to me and trying to like talk me down from some emotional heights I was at with my relationship at the time. And she says, there are times when relationships ebb and flow, and that's natural. There will be times when you guys feel super close and connected, and times when you don't, when things feel a little quieter, when you guys want to go off and do your own thing. It feels like you guys are in an ebb right now where you want to bring your energy in and go off and do your own thing. Okay, something along these lines. Summer love, near, far, wherever you are. Interesting, okay? I get this as two separate energies, okay? I think that some people in this pile do need to sort of let go of this summer love, okay? And some of you are, because you guys had that marriage card or engagement card, near, far, wherever you are, I will always love you. On second thought, these are energies of leaving love behind. Okay, this to me says a love that has transpired, okay, but it's over, but I will always love you, okay? I will always remember the time with you, and summer love feels like something fleeting, okay? Something that was grand, really passionate, but didn't last, okay? I also see that as this Page of Cups. Now, don't think I'm trying to talk down to you by calling you guys dreamers. That's not it. It's just meant to help you, as always. All of these messages are just trying to help you become more self-aware and acknowledge your own feelings. If you're like, Zach, you are so wrong about every single thing going on in this message right now, hey, that actually serves my purpose. It had you tune in and check in with yourself and say, this doesn't really fit me. And you are then able to identify where you are from that point, okay? Because it would obviously be the opposite of whatever I've been talking about. But I don't think that's the case. I think that we have a lot of great confirmations going on here for pile 3. And this is the end of your reading. But I do want to give you guys one final little message from the void, because we have all this great black energy going on right here. This newness. So for pile 3, it's okay for it to just be a hobby. Interesting. That was that 5 of Wands moment, okay? With this, okay, where are you going? We have to figure out what lights you up. It feels like you guys are entertaining projects and ideas that are super, super exciting, but it's almost like you're giving too much energy at this time, okay? That was why I kept called to, finding a different route would give you new neural pathways, which would really uplift your energy. So there is an idea here about energy, okay? And needing to sort of figure out which one of these flames burns the brightest, right? This stick seems to be the tallest, right? Has something to do with that, especially with what lights you up, okay? It's okay for it to just be a hobby. Means that perhaps this passion project that you're entertaining just needs to sit on the back burner. It doesn't mean you have to put it down or snuff out the flame. It just means you have to turn the knob down and let it reduce for a while because the time isn't right, and you're meant to pour a lot more energy into something else. And you guys know what this is. You're getting flashes of intuition at this time. You have an inkling. You have 4 burners, you've got 5 pots. One of them has to be removed, and that's going to be a lot of wasted gas and flame if you have them all burning at the same time. So which one do you want to light on fire, pile 3? Okay, beautiful reading. If you guys like this, you like my style, you want to see more messages like this in the future, go ahead and click subscribe. If you've made it this far into the reading, you can give me a big thumbs up. It really helps people find these messages, but it also helps my channel grow. And until next time, pile 3, stay divine. Hello, pile 4, welcome to your reading. Things might look a little different. I wanted to step in front of the camera for your reading, just your reading. So humor me. You guys chose rose. Interesting. So rose to me talks about the scent of rose and that vibration, which is actually the highest we can presently find using modern science. So perhaps you guys are interested in raising your frequency, or you guys already are high vibe, because you guys also chose the card with the third eye that popped out. To me, this eye over a monocle, it does talk about the unseen eye, okay, not the two physical eyes, but the third eye. And it talks about psychic ability, okay? So perhaps you guys are turning on to your innate ability as psychics, or empaths, or something spiritual, or just things around this time in your life seem to be very mystical. Perhaps you guys are interested in the occult, which just means hidden, okay? So that's what I'm getting. There was a fuzz. To start off your reading, so I'm just going to move that over here and open up with an animal medicine card. So, where is... Cool, you guys got the raven underneath the deck, which to me talks about magic, quite literally. So let's see. All my rose number 4s. Oh my god. So I'm getting, what is that movie? Is it a movie? It's some movie. It's called like Love Potion number 9. Someone knows this reference. You should leave a comment below. Okay, so for pile 4, please. Ooh, okay, so you guys got bear. Interesting. So bear talks about hibernation, okay, but I think that perhaps you guys are actually just turning on to spirituality, or, just getting your feet wet. When I first had my animal medicine cards read to me, they were the first tarot, first oracle, anything mystical, occult like that. It was the first reading that I ever encountered, okay? And, okay, there are a few messages coming through. So I think that could be one of them. You guys are just awakening to this. Also, bear represents protection to me and a nurturing energy. And I think that you guys might want to, because we are in winter right now, maybe pull in, okay? And hibernate for a little bit. It's the energy of ruminating on something. But in combination with rose and this third eye, I feel like you guys are super curious about love, or to learn a little bit about a current relationship that you have. Let me see if I'm getting anything else from bear. It's also sensing your path, okay? That's what I'm getting. So let's put a spiritual lens on this reading. It's also the number 5, which talk about magic or productive changes, okay? So a spiritual lens, please, for pile 4. Bear, again, it really talks about the womb, okay? And pulling in, seeking some safe place, okay? So this could be an invitation. One moment. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? I think in the home, okay? There's something about protective nature, okay? So bears can, in a Nordic sense, I know that they mean something different than how I am saying this, and I don't know why I'm bringing Norway into this reading. For some reason, I'm getting the idea, you guys, that there is this need to sort of nurture yourself at home and set up a safe haven, or set up some room in your house that's sort of like a place where you can go and learn about the occult or experience mysticism, or at least just not be heard when you are trying to tune in, okay? When I get this boundary card, you can see all of these different people, their hands reaching in. I think that because you guys chose this high vibe rose and the third eye, that you guys could be empathic to a degree, and you can sense when people's energies, are robbing you, okay? There could be energy vampires around you at this time. I think perhaps the biggest message so far is to pull away and to reach a state of neutrality. It's find your base level before you, go back out and become, an extrovert, or go back out and, meet a bunch of friends, or before you overexert yourself. I think it's time to sort of sense where you are most comfortable. What is your base level? Oops, I spit. I'm human. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with tarot. Look at this beautiful bag. I just sewed this weekend. Isn't that gorgeous? I have to show it off. Okay, so a first message, please. I guess continued messages. There are messages coming out all over the place. The bear really represents power to me as well, and I see this really spiritual being, okay? I think especially your third eye and your crown chakras right now are either trying to be activated or there's, a heightened ability there right now. I think you guys are really sensing psychic abilities right now. I know that my sister, she's been turning on to her abilities over the last couple of months, and they're heightening. And I think that there is some sort of energetic state across the whole world right now where people are turning on to their abilities, okay? Okay. You guys got the Two of Wands. Knight of Swords. I see this Two of Swords right now as this prophecy card because he has the globe in his hand, okay? And I get the idea of you wanting to go somewhere, but we have the Knight of Swords, which to me is always a caution. This energy is very fast and you can make things happen very, very quickly, but you almost sort of look over important details, and as a result, there's some sort of blunder, okay? There is seriously another fuzz on my face. I got it, thank God. Okay, but I'm also seeing two gray horses facing opposite directions. To me, it talks about a drive, but it's sort of blurred, okay? And it's like it's a hidden motive, okay? And this energy is surrounding you at this time, okay? I see predominant colors of gray and blue. So perhaps your throat chakra is blocked at this time and you need to find your voice. That's why we're being called to, set boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? It feels like in the home, and it feels like with people in your family, and it feels like you need to establish this base level of control in your life and what it feels like to be balanced so that you can then move forward in your life. If you guys truly do want to develop psychic ability, this is really important. You have to find your base level. I keep saying that over and over again. It means like, for example, I know when someone is robbing me of my energy. And that sounds super dramatic, but it means that perhaps, here's a very good example. One of my best friends does this and I fucking hate it. She'll say something as if it's a leading statement and it requires me to ask for clarification. Instead of me participating in the conversation willingly, it sort of forces my end, and that is energy that's robbing. So this person could name drop in a text, for example, and you're like, I literally have never heard you mention that person's name before, and it's like, how am I supposed to reply to this without having to say something like, who is Brent, right? Like, it's that kind of thing. These are very small examples, but it's really important to sort of figure that out, okay? I think that you guys are sensitive, and there are at least places in your life where you need to become like this bear and be ferocious. It's actually ferocious about your energy and being very compelled to sort of defend you at this time, okay? It feels similar to an empath reading I did last week, and it's like this woman right here with all of her pillars of chakras being illuminated and her hands are forcing out to the side. In doing so, she raises this massive crown chakra above her head, and it's like radiating power away from her, okay? Because she is becoming empowered. This is very interesting. I see success though. Victory with this Six of Wands, okay? Victory over an unconscious motive. What do I drive? It's like the energy of going somewhere but not knowing where to direct it, okay? And it feels like, again, I'm being told to sort of ground your energy, okay? At the very least, we have to pull away from friends and obligations and going out right now to sort of sense where we feel comfortable, where we feel like where energy isn't being taken from us, okay? Because when we can sense where that is, it's going to be unique to every person. You'll be able to understand when a new stimuli comes in and takes energy from you, okay? For example, you might find it difficult to ground your energy, okay? And so that when you go grocery shopping somewhere, or you go shopping or somewhere like that, you get home and you don't know why, but you just feel drained and you don't want to do anything, and all you want to do is turn the TV on and sit on the couch and just, say no to everyone. I think we're really waking you up. I think that people in pile 4 are really being turned on to sort of spirituality, okay? Interesting. I do keep being pulled to this purple deck. I think that you guys could benefit from wearing a lot of purple at this time, violet or indigo to be specific. Interesting. Okay. So your cards are favorite against sunshine. You guys got the one really, really cool card in this particular deck. It's infinity with a rainbow on it, okay? And then beauty, okay? So to me, this is a message that we hit on early in your reading. So this frequency of rose is literally the highest. I'm getting the idea of like literally stop and smell the roses, okay? But also perhaps bring roses into your life. We are approaching Valentine's Day, which happens to be my birthday. So perhaps you guys are about to celebrate something as well. Perhaps you guys are Aquarius, okay? That would make sense to me. I have to itch my nose, 1 second. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. So to me, it's talking about doing things that can raise your frequency. Okay, so that could be pulling in other factors like roses, like flowers, like your favorite things, like whiskers on kittens and just your favorite things. Surround yourself with good things at this time, okay, to bring up your energy. If you're not someone who can carve out a niche in your house, if you're not someone who can, put up boundaries that are necessary at this time in your life, okay? I'm going to reach for another message with the tarot. Okay. So the Hierophant with a 10 of Wands. Yeah, so this 10 of Wands to me talks about burnout. Okay, the Hierophant is giving me the idea of career, but also I think that you guys are just super curious about figuring out things that are mystical, the occult, okay? You guys like fairies, you guys like unicorns. You love everything that has to do with tarot. Perhaps you guys want to pursue a career in this, okay? Right now, the best thing that you could do if you're super curious about your gifts and your abilities, because we all incarnate with them, please do not think you're unique in that. We all have unique abilities, okay? Every one of us. And that's what this Hierophant is here to say, okay? But this 10 of Wands is a caution against burnout, okay? And to me, it's because you're fanning the flames, all right? So you're like giving way too much of your time and energy out, okay? Perhaps you naturally are an extrovert, okay? And this idea of an introvert, the bear, is like repulsive to you, but you will learn a lot if you can pull away and just have some time with yourself right now, okay? I know it doesn't sound appealing because you probably do have a lot of commitments at this time in your life. That's why we have, though, this 10 of Wands, okay? To me, it talks about, you can't see the forest for the trees. It talks about moving forward at such a rapid pace because you had the Knight of Wands that you have blinders on and you can't appreciate life and all the beauty that's around you because of the pace you're currently working at. Okay. The Hanged Man, okay, with the 3 of Cups. Interesting. Hanged Man means, a pause, okay? 3 of Cups is like cheerful energy, and it's like, okay, so it's like let yourself, perhaps some of you actually would benefit from inviting just 1 or 2 friends over, okay, to learn about occultism, to, have a little party for empaths and for psychics, okay? But what I'm getting is to sort of change your perspective on how you feel fun. Okay, that's interesting. But again, it's the 3 of Cups, so it's it's about joy, it's about celebration, it's about cheer, okay? I really am getting this call to sort of make sure that you're aware of your energy at this time and to really bring it up, okay? So I think that perhaps we're talking about 2 different groups of energy in this reading. There are those who really need to bring up their energy, and by doing so, they will learn about their spiritual abilities. The other half is the need to sort of figure out where you have holes in your energy, okay, and where and how all of your current commitments are taking from you. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just you perhaps would take on less if you knew what it felt like to be grounded at sort of a neutral level of energy, okay? And I think that by taking on less in the future, you will free up energy, okay, to be able to appreciate life around you, okay? Do I want to go anywhere else? I think for your reading, because you chose roses, Valentine's Day is nearly upon us, I do want to draw a few romance cards for you guys. Yeah, I just keep getting this sense, between this bear card and establish better boundaries, we're really, the main message, the biggest message, I feel like for some reason I need to tell you guys, because some of you are interested in tarot readings, you don't need to feel like you have to draw a reading out for like 15 minutes. We're here to get the message, right? And I think it's crucial that we sort of get this one main message out for you guys. It's establish boundaries, okay? It's figure out what is too much for you, okay? Is your energy low? It's time to bring it back up, and it's time to make an action plan. Through literal physical beauty around your house, you have beauty come out, which also rose, doing tangible things like that. If you cannot carve out a space in your home where you can do so, right? Perhaps you live with a lot of people, or you have a large family, okay? And it's not possible for you to carve out this place. I think it's super important before the spring to take stock of how far you've come and what you desire, and if you are currently in alignment with your dream life. And dream life, I think when I first started hearing that, when I first started being interested in spirituality, it sounded super like out there and like, yeah, just, movie stars get their dream life. Once you sort of figure out and have a pivotal moment between what you desired when you were young and what you desire now, I think you're going to see some changes happen in your life. For example, when I was young, I used to just want to be popular. What do I want these days? Peace. Literally peace of mind. That's all that I want. It's very interesting to read in front of the camera. I feel like I have to constantly look up and acknowledge you. So I apologize if this reading is a little less specific than the others. I just wanted to try something new. In love, please. Okay, yeah. Very soon, healing family issues and pay attention to the red flags. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. This to me talks about this bear card, this pause, this moment of introspection where you pull inwards, where you pull away from the external factors of the world to figure out what you desire so that you can call it into being. If you have too many passion projects, remember the 10 of Wands, you're scattering all your energy into 10 different directions. It's going to take a long time for all of those desires to get to you. But if you decided to knock them off one at a time, they would come like this. I get this sense that you guys really can manage magic. Okay, magic, interesting. I like that. You can manage energy and you can direct it, okay? But right now you're healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents, okay? This card comes out to say that there are boundaries here, okay? Especially since we have your spiritual lens calling attention to boundaries. We really need to sort of figure out who in our family is working with us and who is working against us. This could be platonic. This could have to do with, people at work as well. But I'm getting family, okay? It's really important to clear your voice. We had that message early on with the gray and the blue. So make sure that you're speaking your truth at this time, okay? The last card I have for you guys is pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you, okay? There are signs all around you, right? So perhaps the people who are interested in developing your abilities, this need to pull back is to sort of reset and be at zero so that you know when a sign is coming in and you're not confusing yourself, okay? But also remember that signs are the manifestation. They're not signs that the manifestation is on its way, because the moment you desire something, it already exists, okay? And it's just a matter of getting into the right vibration to bring that to you, okay? So I do think that this is the end of your reading. I know that I drew another deck, but I feel like all the messages came out for pile 4. And if you guys haven't already, you can consider subscribing. If you've made it this far in the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. It helps other people find these messages, and it helps my channel grow. And so until next time, pile 4, stay divine.